Hello to all friends and fans of the pulp, paper and bioproducts industries. Welcome to this first episode of our exciting Spectrum podcast. Today we have a very special guest, Mr. Schönbeck, the incoming CEO of ANDRITZ, who took over the helm just recently from Mr. Leitner, who was CEO since 1994, an incredible 28 years. I am Mark Rushton and I will be your host. ANDRITZ has come a long, long way since Mr. Leitner took the helm of the company nearly 30 years ago. The group now provides a comprehensive product portfolio for special industries all over the world. With its technologies and service solutions, ANDRITZ is the world leader in almost all of its major business areas. So it's a warm welcome to Mr. Schönbeck, the new CEO of ANDRITZ. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you very much. Happy to be here. So I'm looking forward to the interesting questions you might have.
First of all, Mr. Schönbeck, congratulations on your appointment to the post of CEO of ANDRITZ. It's a huge job in a challenging world. Any comments to make on your new appointment?
Yeah, so for me, it's a great honor and privilege to be CEO of ANDRITZ, and I'm fully aware of the huge responsibility I have together with my colleagues on the board to lead ANDRITZ and all our employees to a promising sustainable future. And I mean, under the long and successful tenure of Wolfgang Leitner, ANDRITZ has developed from a restructuring case, basically a license manufacturer, to a successful global leader in all fields. And I thank Wolfgang for the tremendous achievement for ANDRITZ and the excellent shape he hands over the company to us. Yeah. And personally, I'm very grateful for the many things I could learn from him. Yeah, 8 years ago, I decided to join ANDRITZ because I was impressed by the entrepreneurial spirit and the speed of decision-making. And today I can say I'm very proud to be part of this company and feel honored to lead it as the new CEO.
Excellent. Can you tell us a little bit about the journey you've taken to get here? Perhaps you could give us a brief biography of your career so far.
Yeah, I'm a German citizen. I was born in Bonn in Germany when it was still capital. I'm married. I have 3 children. I'm married to a girl, and all my children are boys. Yeah, and so throughout my business life, I've worked in various industries, but always being in the engineering business. Yeah, I would say that's what I know, and I can tell you that's also what I love. The project business is special, and if you want to be there, you have to love it, because otherwise you cannot sustain it. It takes a lot of your private life, because you cannot schedule that, and problems are inevitably, and how you handle the problems is basically can tell you how successful you can be. So this was basically my background when I joined ANDRITZ in 2014, and I found that projects are the same in basically in all industries and also all companies, and it helped me a lot to find my way into ANDRITZ, and also to get the pulp and paper capital to I would say very good development we had over the past years.
I imagine you must be a really busy person right now. So can you tell us about a day in your life at the moment? What does a day in your life look like?
Yeah, I get up at 5 o'clock, I start working, and go to bed at 10 o'clock. That's it's pretty, I would say I don't have a problem with too much spare time at the moment. It's a lot of fun, and I'm trying to cope with it.
Excellent. Great. Can you give us your view on ANDRITZ and where it sits in relation to the industries it's involved in? I mean, what excites or impresses you most about ANDRITZ as a group in those areas?
Yeah, I believe that entrepreneurial spirit and speed are the key differentiators for ANDRITZ when we compare with our peers. And I would say the challenge is to retain that, to keep that at that level. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And would you have any comments on megatrends? How's ANDRITZ dealing with the megatrends?
Yeah, frankly speaking, and my view is biased, but I would say we are very well prepared for the mega trends. We are well positioned, and we can provide a lot to a sustainable future and to society. If I look for decarbonization, one of the large mega trends, I would say we are extremely strong in renewable energy. Hydropower plants, biomass boilers, biofuels. That we are developing technologies for e-mobility. So in these areas, I think we have strong positions. In circular economy, pulp and paper is a core in recycling. We have strong recycling divisions there. We are now moving since 1.5 years very much into textile recycling. We have 2 major initiatives going on in ANDRITZ we call Circle to Zero and A Recovery Plus, where we are focusing on eliminating side streams in the pulping process or turning waste into valuable products. So both is, I would say, key, and it's definitely in the heart of the circular economy. And if we look to a third mega trend, is digitalization. I think asset performance management, autonomous operation, and industrial cybersecurity, 3 areas which have our utmost attention. And I think also we are providing good services for our customers. So I would say we are well positioned for the mega trends.
You're pretty much hitting those on the head, really, it seems. So can you give us some of your views in particular on the pulp and paper industries when it comes to the circular bioeconomy? You've covered a little bit of it, but just a little bit further. And environmental benefits. Do you see these industries as having a bright future?
I would say pulp and paper definitely has an excellent future. It's a perfect example of this circular bioeconomy. The wood as a main raw material is renewable. It absorbs CO2, and a managed forest might have some downsides, but on the CO2 level, it's a carbon sink. From what I see on the technology side, pulp and paper has a huge potential to replace a lot of packaging products which today are based on oil. On the textile side, cellulosic-based fibers are much more sustainable than anything you do along the cotton value chain. So I would say in these trends, pulp and paper can provide so much that I see an excellent future.
You touched on Circle to Zero initiative earlier, and I think you've mentioned a couple of things, but can you just enhance a little bit further the Circle to Zero? Any examples that are going on mills that ANDRITZ is working with?
Circle to Zero means we want to have an emission-free pulp mill. That's the target. No net water usage and no net emissions. That's the target. Believe we don't reach it by end of this year. It takes some time. We have bright people working on it, and I would say if we don't give ambition targets, then we don't create great ideas. But if we nail it down, I would say we have a three-phase approach in this Circle to Zero. And the first is that we try and we want to minimize the amount of side streams in the first place. And we exercise this with our customers through optimization of new and existing processes. And it's amazing how many new solutions can be found. Secondly, is that we want to use the side streams that we want to turn into valuable products. And a very good example for that is this sulfuric acid recovery that we started, and we have now one plant under construction in Brazil for our customer Klabin. And basically, we convert the odorous gases these are the gases which are most annoying from a pulp mill, at least for the people who are not working there, because the ones who are working there are so used to it that they will probably miss them. But everybody else does not like it. Yeah. And it's amazing that we convert these odorous gases back to sulfuric acid, which has a huge benefit for the customer because he does not need to purchase the sulfuric acid. It has a huge advantage for the, I would say, society, because it eliminates the trucking of hundreds of tons or thousands of tons of sulfuric acid each year towards the mill. And the third is that for the side stream that cannot be eliminated or which products cannot be utilized on site, we are trying to find solutions to make them saleable. And here I would like to come back to this biomethanol process that we developed, where we basically produce commercial grade of biomethanol, out of, let's say, a weak methanol that is usually burned down in the recovery boiler as to get rid of it. We basically refine it to a strong biomethanol and are one of the few providers of their technologies worldwide. And we see a huge attraction of biomethanol in the market because there are fuel applications that cannot be easily converted into electric mobility or fuel cell based, and especially jet engine. We see a huge demand there, but also ships. So all the marine transportation, we see a huge demand there. So we would say it's these are good examples, and knowing the people who are working for ANDRITZ in that field, I know that there is more to come.
Excellent. Back to your comment about odorous gases. I remember going around my first pulp mill and asking what that smell was. And the mill manager said, that's the smell of making money. So going back to the mega trends again is digitalization, which is showing some really exciting progress now. I mean, we're actually getting results from it. I've seen quite a few of the ANDRITZ Mills stories that we've been doing where there's results coming. So can you give us, enhance upon digitalization a little bit further?
Yeah, I would say automation and autonomous operation in a cyber-safe environment is vital for every mill in the future. And the combination of the digital solutions and the digital platforms we have developed with the in-depth process and equipment expertise, I think we really can provide something to our customers to secure high product quality, process stability, and high cost efficiency. That's basically what is driving our customers, and I believe that we really can bring benefit to the customers through that. I would say on the cyber security, we have I would say a challenge in front of us, and because if we want to move towards the autonomous operation, it requires a very effective remote accessibility of the assets. Otherwise it doesn't work, not for us and not for our customers. Because if we say it's autonomous, then it means we don't have too many people around, and then anybody needs to have a remote access. And if we want to make a remote access in a safe environment, we need to tackle this OT cybersecurity topic, which, frankly speaking, is not well covered by industry so far. We need a solution that takes into account that we cannot patch the automation system, but we need to run it secure anyhow. And when we found out that there is no solution available on the market, then we decided we need to develop something on our own. And this is when we set up this joint venture company, Otorio, which we have in Israel, where we basically we covered the demand side, knowing the needs of the industry, and we teamed up with cybersecurity experts, who have the knowledge to develop the products. And I think what has been achieved in the last 4 years of this joint venture is we developed 3 excellent products. One is called Spot, one is called Ramsquare, one is called Remote, basically to provide cybersecurity for the industrial assets, and to secure a remote connection which is manageable, and where activities of everybody entering into the world of this specific mill is recorded and can be analyzed afterwards, that we are fully aware and fully transparent on data driven back and forth.
Great. Cybersecurity, enormously important as we go down that digitization route. So now, looking forward, there's a lot of talk in the industry of cellulosic textiles representing a great opportunity for forest products industries. This is huge, and a lot of the traveling around that I'm doing now, it's being proved that textiles actually are doing a lot of pollution made from the fossil fuel side of things to the oceans, the world's oceans. So can you give us your opinion on this and what ANDRITZ is doing in this area?
Somebody told me that textile is the dirtiest industry which still exists. I cannot commend it. I don't know. I was surprised. But what we did is I would say, did a huge step to make cellulosic fibers available for the textile industries. We developed, I would say, very successfully what we call the a conflex process, which is a continuous cooking process for dissolving pulp. And I would say the amazing or the technical advantage of that is that can be added to every craft mill process in the world. So basically you have then a swing mill that can produce craft the one day, dissolving pulp the other day, or vice versa, or 1 week and the other week. So whatever you like. We have started up the largest mill of that kind now in Brazil, for Brussels. A few weeks ago, with a very successful first start on this dissolving pulp process. High quality, high production, high sustainability, and we really believe that this is a key for this trend, because it provides the availability of these cellulosic fibers for textile processing, in quite different quantities than it was available so far, and we believe it is a major breakthrough.
Excellent. You touched on recycling textile products earlier on. Can you enhance that a little bit further?
2 years ago, we have acquired a company called La Roche in France. They have been founded 70 years ago with the target do textile recycling mechanically. So they are doing that since 70 years. And I would say they have developed quite an excellence in that. And through them, we are, I would say, a front runner on the mechanical side of mechanical recycling of textiles. So tearing, sorting, preparing filaments, fibers from that. Combining that with our many activities we have on the chemical textile recycling, we can really offer a huge portfolio of technologies, to whatever is necessary, requested from the market, which is rapidly developing. And we have what industry calls pre-consumer and post-consumer textile recycling. And everybody basically knows the post-consumer textile recycling, but you will be amazed to see how much pre-consumer recycling needs there is, because consumers demand new fashion every 3 months. Yeah. And I tell you, not everything is sold. Yeah. And the EU stopped landfilling, yeah, for this what we call pre-consumer textiles, and also burning it. So the choice is to either give it away for free, which the brands usually don't like too much, or they need to recycle it. And now there is a huge wave coming. Yeah. So I think we provide good technologies there. We see a demand. We have a lot of projects going on, and I think it is really doing good. Yeah, because who wants all these textiles unused or burned or landfilled? Yeah.
Yeah. So ANDRITZ is in a really fantastic position in regards to that technology and in what could be quite a revolution going on in textiles, really. Excellent. Great. So looking at ANDRITZ itself now, so you're providing a lot of great technology to your customers to enable their own environmental footprint to come down and, keep a healthier planet. What about ANDRITZ and the ESG, environmental, social and governance? Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, we have started last year to develop our ESG program, and I would say we really have key activities in all three areas: environment, social, and governance. Let's start with social, because that is since many years in the heart of our attention, and especially the point of health and safety, safe environment, and safe working is one of the main initiatives that we have been driving even in the past year, long before we have established this ESG program. And also this accident frequency rate, which is the leading KPI in that area, is also our first non-financial target, which is part of the compensation plan of every manager in ANDRITZ now, including the board, going down to everybody. So we have the task to reduce our AFR by 30% every year. Sometimes we achieve, sometimes we miss that, but I think that is a very keen target, and it's very important that nobody is harmed by ANDRITZ doing business. I think that is a fundamental. And on the environmental side, what is strong in focus is greenhouse gas emissions, and we have a plan to reduce it by 50% till 2025, which is 3 years from now. We are on a good way. We want to reduce waste by 10%. We want to reduce water consumption by 10% in that same period. Programs are made, and I think all our locations are running after it. But as I said before, we are not a production company, we're an engineering company. So the main benefit we can bring to society is through developed products, which help our customers to reach their environmental goals and to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions. And this is why we have one of our main targets is to have more than 50% of our revenue, which with what we call green products, so renewable energy, carbon capture, hydrogen, whatever, circle to zero, what we have in this area. So this is our targets. On the governance side, we mainly put our focus on the supply chain, that we make sure that we have a sustainable supply chain, where also environmental and also social rules and governance is taken care of and respected. And so we have a target to audit our suppliers and make sure that they fulfill these minimum standards we have.
Excellent. I think this podcast has given us a really good insight into just how large ANDRITZ is and how much amazing technology they're supplying around around the world, to pulp and paper, to textiles. It's really very interesting. So lastly, to conclude, what are your hopes and dreams for ANDRITZ, and what will the group look like in 10 years from now?
I hope, and we will do everything that it's even better positioned than it is today. Yeah, we like to be leaders in our fields in all products. We would like that we have attractive workplaces that is attractive for the best talents we have, and that these talents stay with ANDRITZ because they can do a good work in a happy environment.
Excellent. Mr. Schönbeck, thank you so much for a great interview, and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Going forward.
It was a pleasure.
All the best.
Thank you.
Clearly, ANDRITZ has a lot going on in many key industry areas when it comes to the production of renewable materials in the most environmentally friendly way. The future, in fact, looks very bright under Mr. Schönbeck's leadership, with his background in engineering and keen focus on customer satisfaction. It makes ANDRITZ an interesting space to watch in the future. We hope you enjoyed listening to our first episode. Please make sure you don't miss any future episodes by following our Spectrum podcast. Look out for our next episode coming soon.